out was Watford hitting headlines yesterday afternoon. That's after they sacked their head coach, Xisco Munoz, just after 10 months in charge, which actually feels like quite of a sizable amount of time, really, for Watford, doesn't it? To give a manager,
it's a good stint.
It is a bit of a stint, isn't it? Also,
6 weeks of the summer, right enough. To be fair, let's not get carried away here. You know what I mean?
Right. Right, Jamie, I just want to ask you, because in terms of what we've seen so far from Watford and where they're sitting at the table, which is what, joint 14th we were saying earlier on, with Palace, who we are praising for their style of football, that sort of stuff, and the fact that they were tipped really to go down quite early on. What do we think of Watford's start, and do we think that decision is the right one?
Well, no, it's a shocking decision, really, isn't it? I mean, it's embarrassing, but it's just showing why Watford have got no class. Getting rid of a manager after, sort of 6 games they've had already. They're 14th. When I saw that they'd sacked him, I had to have another look at the Premier League table and think, are they bottom or something? Why are they making that decision already? And I looked and I'm thinking, well, they're 14th. They've done okay. They've had a good start. What do they expect? What are they expecting? It's not like they've gone and spent £100 million, to come into the Premier League and really kick on. They're where you'd expect Watford to be. And I remember talking to Troy Deeney, who was at Watford with that manager, and he really liked him. The players really liked him. The training sessions were good. I know they enjoyed it there. So, strange decision, and sums them up, really. And if I was a player looking at that, I'd go, you're creating a sort of environment where the players are more important than the manager, because you can almost say, well, if we don't play well, we can just down tools and the manager will end up getting a sack. So it looks to me like the manager hasn't really got any power. And I just think that's an unstable environment to put yourself in, I hope they go down.
Oh, wow. I mean, when you do bring a new manager in, normally, Jay, obviously you get that little bit of a bounce, don't you? Claudio Ranieri is the one that's been tipped for the job. Do you think that he could do anything different with Watford? Well,
look, I mean, Ranieri is a top-class manager. There's no getting away from that. But, he went in at Fulham and it didn't really work. So, he has his issues as well. So, I don't get it. I'm not sure what they're trying to do. The manager was doing okay. Yep. And it seems to me like, I don't know what the owners are expecting from this Watford team. What they're going to do, come in and all of a sudden just be like Everton or Aston Villa. Like, they're not going to do that. They're where you'd expect them to be. Back your manager and give him time and, see where it goes. But it's just Watford, isn't it?
Ali, how do you think the players will react to this one? Because it won't be coming as a shock necessarily, because they've seen it happen so much.
I know that's the sad thing. You know what I mean? I'm with Jamie in this one. I think it's just do you know what it is? It's unfair. You know what I mean? It's unfair. And I'd love to hear actually from some of the Watford fans. I mean, have we got it wrong? Have Jamie and I got it wrong? Because we're sitting on the outside, we're not watching Watford every week. We get that. Have we got it wrong? Surely we haven't got it wrong though. But he's in the job 10 months. He's 6 promotion. And they've had I think a better than average start. Okay, I don't think the performance against Newcastle the week before was great. They were probably a little bit fortunate to get a point, beating 1-0 at Leeds. I mean, they're not getting a 6 or 7. You know what I mean? They're performing okay for a team that's newly been promoted. You look at things like that are happening at Norwich again. So I just don't think it's fair more than anything.
It seems to me a little bit like amateur hour with the owners. Like they think, Ranieri's available. We've had a chat with him and he wants to come. Let's get rid of the manager. We're going to be, Leicester City. Like, come on, get in the real world. You're where you're meant to be. Back your manager, and who's done a great job for you, got you into the Premier League. You sacked him after 7 games? It's outrageous.
talkSPORT Breakfast with Laura Woods, Monday to Wednesday morning 6 till 10 on AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.